After long hours of using the coffee shop's free Wi-Fi, I decided to head home. It was 9 PM in a cold winter's night. I wasn't feeling so good, but I had no internet at home, and I got obsessed with a game which name I won't mention. It has pickaxes in it. I had to walk a lot to get home, since the most decent free Wi-Fi is normally in the actual city. I didn't mind it, but being from where I'm from, things can get quite dangerous on the streets. I just power walked as fast as possible. I was slowly losing my breath. I wasn't sure if it was the cold air, but I was struggling to breathe. My asthma doesn't go well with it, but I rarely got any attacks. That's why I don't normally carry an inhaler with me. I literally couldn't walk anymore. I was completely alone. No one to help, and I started to freak out. All I could do was trying to scream for help. A minute later, which felt like hours, a lady came to me with a scarf. She put it around my neck and helped me up. I felt peace. I wasn't sure how, but I was happy I was okay. I thanked her. I even bowed to her. "Is this a magical scarf? Or your angel?" I asked the woman. She laughed. "No, it's just a piece of warm fabric," she answered with a soft voice. I was curious about her. Not a person I've seen before, nor someone I could normally see walking around at night alone. My nerd fantast loving ass immediately thought she was an angel or death. Maybe she saw me dying and decided to give me another chance. But she laughed at me. "I'm not death," she said with a big smile on her face. "We don't get along that well, so she hides every time I'm closed." She seemed serious about it. Was it roleplay? Should I pretend I'm death? Why does she hide? I decided not to be funny. "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm Lucero," she said. Damn it, I was expecting something bigger. "Nice name," I complimented her. "I had a friend whose name was the same as yours." I was a bit nervous. "It means light, you know?" I asked. "I do." Of course she did. Idiot. I like the variation to my original name. There's no one who will get uncomfortable if I introduce myself as Lucero instead of Lucifer, right? She said that, as if it wasn't a big deal, that her parents named her after the devil. I was open-minded though, so I was really hoping she would actually be the devil. Please don't be just a crazy person, I thought. I'm not. Wow, she read my mind. Or was she a psychologist? She could read my body language. But she also got me out of hole a moment ago with nothing but a warm scarf. And it's either my hormones, or she made it less cold. I thought a lot of things. Me being dead was one of them. There was no explaining how we were at a normal temperature now, after being so freaking cold. And no, you're not dead. I felt better. "Wow, you can read minds," I said with a genuine smile. "This is why I saved you," she said with a soft voice. "You can accept things so quickly." I'm pretty sure I blushed. "I don't like to judge," I answered. "And I'm always grateful to those who help me. Besides, it's pretty cool." I was happy talking to her, but then something came to my mind. A weird feeling. "Wait, did you save me for some other reason?" I asked with fear. She answered without having to talk. I started shaking. "Is it Grandma?" An ambulance answered for her. My tears started to come out. "Don't worry though," she said with a smile on her face. "No never truly dies." I wanted to believe she was going to say something positive, but we live in hell, so she'll go through all of this again. She'll be born again, she will learn everything again, grow up, have a family, grow old and all that. Damn it, that sounded awful. She obviously knew what I was thinking. I didn't want to cry, so I just thought, so all those times I thought I wanted to finally get some good rest, it wasn't gonna happen. There was no point in hiding it. I was suicidal. Depression hit hard sometimes. She just nodded. "But now your grandma at least will have a new body and she will not be sick anymore." She was in pain, so it was a nice trade. hers instead of your current life. If you wonder what the point is, well, there's none. She looked happy. I just like it when a person is happy to meet me. That made me smile. I make the rules here, but I can't control people's feelings. That's why when I see a rare human who doesn't freak out and rejects things just cause he doesn't know them, I take an interest. She seemed to be enjoying the chat. Was she making me care less about grandma? That was so weird. Oh. I remembered. You didn't tell me why death hides when she sees you. Well, she started saying, as if it was a normal question. Like I said, no one ever dies. I rule Earth. So before me, death took as many lives as she wanted. Human lives are divine just like angels. Death is an angel himself who got trapped between the two realms. My father hated you all cause of your free will, so he sent him to Earth to get the light he used on you back. But I thought it was stupid. I awoke free will myself after you were created. He wanted me to pretend to be on your side. So he created the tree with the most exotic fruit ever. I got close to the girl and showed her how good it was. I sincerely thought it was just a fruit. The Dumbus created an actual fruit that will give you the ability point to think and create. You can call it God's fruit. And not just cause he created it, but because it made you gods. In a less powerful way, but gods. Long story short, I bit it too. He didn't realize immediately, but started seeing him as a flawed person. He had so many fears. So he kicked me out. In that moment he sent death after all the humans. But I was still an angel. A fallen one, but an angel. One of the most powerful ones. So I stopped my brother. I defeated him in a battle. And since father intentionally or not gave me this world, my rules became unbreakable. No divine light can cross the bridge between this and father's world. So my brother, in order to make father happy, made humans addicted to animals. You kill thousands of them every day. Those do cross. But they're not enough for father, so he won't let death back into heaven, she finished. Her speech got me speechless. So God wasn't as nice. I knew it. It saddened me a little. It wasn't her or her brother's fault, but they were basically paying for their father's mistakes. Do you love your father? She laughed at my question. I mean, like sometimes people love others, no matter how much they hurt them. She looked at me and said, I don't love him, I never did. She paused for a second. Angels are soldiers created with an only purpose, to serve him. They don't know what love is. They probably never will. I thought the fruit could have helped them, but I just stayed quiet. No. She said. The fruit doesn't exist anymore. Not here, not anywhere. She seemed mad for a second. The cherubs were sent to destroy the garden. I was surprised to hear that. He was so angry he created swords with a fire that will never stop burning. Even after it's consumed whatever it was consuming. We were sitting on the sidewalk. She stood up and helped me do the same. I didn't know I was weak. Go home. She said. Difficult days await you. But you'll be okay in the end. I bowed to her again and thanked her for her kindness. She said it wasn't gonna be the last time we'd meet. I was happy to hear that. But when would we meet? I couldn't ask her. But at least I wasn't scared of going to hell anymore and meet her there. I thought it would be best if I ran home to help my family. It was obviously real. Grandma passed away of old age. The days after were hard. I had to work harder to pay for the funeral. We were semi-poor. A month later I was kicked out of my house by my family. They had plot against me to keep the house. I wasn't mad. It was stupid, but I thought she had it worst. I had the advantage of free will, so I wasn't gonna try to beg for them to let me back in my home. I would figure it out. I sold everything I had and got the smallest room I've ever seen. But I didn't let me bring me down. She said it'd be okay. I wasn't depressed, I was just motivated. But could she see the future? Maybe she meant it would be okay after all the funeral point stuff. And she was right. It was all solved. Everything was paid. So maybe I was fucked for real. I never played the game again after that day. I just sat down on the floor thinking how bad it was.